Do you know what kills more dreams than failure? Laziness. Not the laziness that makes you rest, but the laziness that makes you wait. The laziness that whispers, tomorrow. You can start tomorrow. And tomorrow comes, but you don't start. You watch others move forward while you stay still. You make promises to yourself every night and break them every morning. You are not tired. You are not weak. You are just comfortable. And comfort is the most dangerous prison because it feels like home. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Laziness doesn't make life easier. It makes life heavier. Today I'm going to tell you a story. A story about a man who almost lost everything to laziness. A man who learned that the heaviest weight you'll ever carry is the weight of regret. If you've ever said, "I'll do it later," and never did, this story is for you. Stay with me because by the end of the story, you'll never look at laziness the same way again. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by green meadows and flowing streams, there lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel was blessed with many gifts. He was smart. He was strong. He had a loving family and a small piece of land left by his father. But Daniel had one problem. He was lazy. Not the kind of lazy where he did nothing. No, Daniel was the dangerous kind of lazy. He had big dreams, endless plans, and brilliant ideas, but he never acted on them. Every morning, Daniel would wake up late, stretch slowly, and look at his unplowed fields. He would think, "I should work today, I really should." But then he would see his comfortable bed, his warm blanket, the soft morning light, and he would whisper to himself, "Just one more hour. I'll start after I rest a little more." 1 hour became 2, 2 became 4, and by afternoon, Daniel would say, "It's too late now. I'll start tomorrow." His mother would beg him, "Son, the fields need work. The crops won't grow by themselves." Daniel would smile and reply, "I know, Mother, don't worry. Tomorrow, I promise." His younger brother Marcus worked hard every day. Marcus woke before sunrise, tended his own small garden, and helped neighbors with their farms. People in the village would praise Marcus. "What a hard-working young man," they would say. But when they saw Daniel, they would shake their heads and whisper, "Such a waste. He has everything, but he does nothing." Daniel heard the whispers. They heard him, but not enough to change him. Because here's what Daniel didn't understand yet. Pain has to be greater than comfort before we finally move. Months passed. Daniel's fields remained empty. His ideas remained just ideas. His dreams remained just dreams. One evening his mother sat beside him and said something that pierced his heart. "Daniel," she said softly, tears in her eyes, "I'm not angry at you for being lazy. I'm heartbroken because I know who you could be, and I'm watching you waste it." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. His mother's words echoed in his mind. "I know who you could be, and I'm watching you waste it." For the first time, Daniel felt something deeper than guilt. He felt grief. Grief for the man he was supposed to become. Grief for the life he was supposed to live. The next morning, Daniel woke up early. He looked at his fields. He looked at his hands. And he made a decision. "Today," he whispered, "I start. Not tomorrow. Today." He grabbed his tools and walked to the field. But after just 10 minutes of digging, his body ached. His hands hurt. His mind screamed, "This is too hard. Rest. You can do this later." Daniel stopped. He dropped the shovel. He was about to walk back to his house when he saw something that changed everything. He saw his younger brother Marcus working in the distance, covered in dirt and sweat, but smiling. Marcus wasn't stronger than Daniel. He wasn't smarter. He wasn't more talented. But Marcus was consistent. Marcus showed up. Marcus did the work even when he didn't feel like it. And that's when Daniel realized the painful truth. Laziness wasn't about being tired. Laziness was about choosing comfort over growth. It was about waiting for motivation instead of building discipline. Daniel picked up the shovel again. His hands still hurt. His body still ached. But this time, he kept going. Not because it felt good, but because he refused to waste another day. The first day was brutal. Daniel's muscles screamed. Every part of him wanted to quit. But he remembered his mother's tears. He remembered the whispers of the villagers. He remembered all the years he had wasted saying tomorrow. So he worked. The second day was just as hard, but Daniel showed up again. The third day, it rained. Daniel could have stayed home, but he didn't. He worked in the rain. By the end of the first week, something miraculous happened. The work didn't become easier, but Daniel became stronger. Weeks turned into months. Daniel's fields began to transform. The only once empty land now had growing crops. His hands, once soft, were now calloused and strong. His body, once weak, was now powerful. But the biggest transformation wasn't in his fields or his body, it was in his mind. Daniel learned that motivation is a lie. Motivation comes and goes like the wind. But discipline stays. Discipline shows up even on the hardest days. He learned that action creates energy, not the other way around. He used to wait to feel ready before starting, but now he knew you start first, and the energy follows. He learned that every time he chose work over comfort, he became a stronger version of himself, and every time he chose comfort, he became weaker. By the time harvest season arrived, Daniel's fields were abundant. Golden wheat swayed in the breeze. Vegetables grew in perfect rows. Fruit trees blossomed with life. The same villagers who once whispered about Daniel now looked at him with respect. "How did you change so much?" they asked. Daniel smiled and said, "I stopped waiting for tomorrow. I stopped waiting to feel motivated. I just started and I never stopped." His mother hugged him with tears of joy. "I'm so proud of you, son, not because of what you harvested, but because of who you became." Daniel looked at his fields, at his strong hands, and at the life he had built from nothing but discipline and effort. And he realized something beautiful. The opposite of laziness isn't hard work, it's self-respect. When you respect yourself, you refuse to waste your own time. You refuse to break promises to yourself. You refuse to live a life smaller than what you're capable of. Years later, Daniel became one of the most successful farmers in the region. But whenever young people asked him for advice, he would tell them this: laziness feels like rest, but it's actually exhausting, because every night you go to bed knowing you wasted another day. And that weight, that guilt, that regret is heavier than any work you'll ever do. The secret to stopping laziness isn't motivation. It's making a promise to yourself and keeping it. Just one promise every single day. Start small. Work for 10 minutes. Just 10. Because 10 minutes of action is stronger than 10 hours of planning. And remember, the life you want is on the other side of the work you're avoiding. If this story touched your heart, if you needed to hear this today, subscribe to Tales with English. Every story here is a mirror. Every lesson is a key. And every word is a step toward the life you deserve. Let's stop wasting our lives together. Let's start building them. Now go do that one thing you've been avoiding. Your future self is counting on you. God bless you. And remember, tomorrow is a thief. Today is a gift. Use it. Please hit the subscribe button and bell icon. Thanks for watching.